The Way of the Househusband. Let's talk about it. So we're going to be comparing the anime to like real Yakuza type stuff. Now right off the bat, I'm just going to say I love how accurate they keep it. From all the tattoos he has, from the finger chopping, they keep it pretty accurate. So let's just start with what Yakuza is, which is the worst possible hand you could get in a game of cards. 8, 9, and 3. The Yakuza tattoos. So even in the show, you can see he's covered arms, everything with like typical ones they would have. Now these days in like Yakuza, it's not really forced to get the tattoos just because like it could be more trouble than it's worth. So like higher ups don't really force it, but like you can still do it. It could be bad just because now you have like identifiers on you, so it's not really forced to do it these days. Now let's take a step back with the tattoo thing. The custom of it started with fishermen. So back in the day, many fishermen were thrown overboard to die. So they had them so it'd be like identifiers for when the dead body came up out of the water. They didn't do this in the show or anything, at least not yet. We're only on episode 1. But just a fun fact, they used to have them tattoo the eyebrows as well. It's kind of hard to go back straight when you got tattoos on your eyebrows. As we can see in the show, they even do the Yubitsume thing, which is cutting off the fingers. He even makes a joke at one point about cutting his fingers off. Now, the finger cutting thing was a huge thing about, like, basically being apology, more or less. Like, honor, apology, they did something wrong. It was never, like, a good thing. Obviously, you're losing fingers. But it was cool to see already in the first episode they already incorporated that. So they're really sticking to this Yakuza thing. It'll be cool to see in the later episodes, like, what else they do related to, like, Yakuza, like, traditions. We see, like, his ex-crewmate, gang member, I don't know what you would call it, running around with him or looking for him at first. And now he's just hanging out with him. He's running around with him. He's trying to convince him to come back or whatever. It doesn't seem like any of these people recognize or realize what's going on, that this is like a Yakuza leader, even with this guy running around with him. I bring this up because I just wanted to point out that I messed up on my speech on what I was trying to say next, so my point is, continuing from the last clip, I was going to say it doesn't even matter if they recognize him or know this or overhear them or whatever, because the Yakuza was looked at as like a good evil, like the ends justify the means type of thing. Everybody knew they were bad and they did stuff, but it also seemed like they cared about the community and stuff. And they never let things like get too out of hand. Supposedly, I don't know. Basically, they're a necessary evil just to like keep other criminals in line. They have their code of honor. They don't go out of their way to harm civilians. They helped out when the earthquakes hit in Japan in like 2011. Now, I'm not saying they're good people, but like the Japanese looked at it as like a necessary evil. But as we can see, like within this first episode, it is sticking pretty true to like the Yakuza type life. It'll be very interesting to see where this goes, where the show ends up. And maybe I'll do a video over the whole season, see how much like Yakuza stuff they follow again. Like I said, about the finger cutting and the other stuff. Either way, it's a funny, goofy show, and it's pretty cool. And it took something serious and like a scary guy and made it into just like a funny house husband. So I would check it out if you haven't checked it out, because it is pretty cool. I mean, I haven't read the manga or anything, but the anime seems pretty cool. I'm going to keep this short. I'm trying to keep all these short, but we'll see how this episode goes, and I'll see you guys on the next one.